What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. Marvel Studios is reportedly building to another huge event that is not an Avengers film. Obviously, right now, Marvel is building to Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, but Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has already confirmed that they are well into development of things that are coming after Secret Wars, in which, yeah, they have to start on Phase 7. They've actually been starting on Phase 7 for a pretty long time, and now Jake Schreier, director of the new X-Men film, has said that they have started production on the new X-Men film. So they are well underway, but apparently we're going to get a pretty big team-up movie that involves the X-Men, that involves the Avengers, and also involves the Eternals. And some of you might already recognize what this story is. It is AXE, A-X-E, Judgment Day, in which AXE stands for Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. And according to a new report from the insider Alex Perez at thecosmiccircus.com, Marvel Studios right now is working on an adaptation of AXE Judgment Day. This event shows the Eternals targeting the X-Men when it's revealed that the X-Men were descendants from the Deviants. Now, they've switched up kind of the origin story of the Deviants and the Eternals in the MCU, but perhaps with the reset coming for the main timeline, they could change their origin story. And this could really be our first look or a first hint at what Marvel Studios has planned for the future, because up until now, the big team-up films have just been Avengers films, which of course we love. It's been awesome to see the MCU build to Avengers movies and have all of these characters come together, but we've never had the X-Men in the same universe as the Avengers before. Technically, right now, we still don't have the Fantastic Four in the same universe as the Avengers, but they're coming. We saw that in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. So everybody's looking forward to Phase 7, where all of these heroes are going to be together, finally, for the first time ever in the same universe. But with that comes a great new opportunity to do a different type of team-up film, a different type of crossover film. It's no longer just going to be Avengers films that are going to be these big team-up crossover events. We're going to have X-Men team-up events as well, and we'll have hopefully some other crazy big team-ups like Spider-Man with the Fantastic Four. So the AXE Judgment Day event is something that we could look forward to in the future, where you don't just have an Avengers movie that's its own big crossover or an X-Men film that's also a big crossover, but all of them coming together. This is basically what we've been waiting for, and we're going to get a little taste of that in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, but keep in mind, in Phase 7, we're going to have a lot of new faces. We'll have some familiar characters, but a lot of new faces playing those characters. For example, Marvel's president Kevin Feige did say that ultimately, eventually, they will recast Iron Man. They will recast Captain America. And I think that they should, but also keep in mind, it's still a business. Disney and Marvel are businesses, and they need to make money, and they know that Captain America and Iron Man and the Hulk and Black Widow, they're characters that make money. So they're going to want to recast those parts anyways. But I really think they should for the story, because we finally do have all of the characters in the same universe. They can all interact now. It would be a shame to not have Iron Man or Captain America or Black Widow there. Or the Eternals. Now, it's been a little bit since we've heard about the Eternals, but recently we've actually heard a lot. And Judgment Day involves the Celestials, and no doubt we're going to see the Celestials again in the MCU. They did set that up in a pretty big way in the Eternals, and I personally thought that introducing the giant celestial gods was an awesome part of the Eternals. And we know eventually, if Marvel really does want to continue with, I would say, some of the Eternals, I don't think they're going to be getting all of them back, but some of them, if they want to continue with their story, and they do, we'll talk about that in just a bit, they'll have to kind of pick up where they left off. They technically don't have to, but for Judgment Day, the Celestials coming to judge, which they said they were going to do, makes a lot of sense. I say they don't have to because we are going to be in a reset universe, but perhaps the Celestials survive the reset and they still want to go and judge Earth. And the Judgment Day event involves pretty much everybody fighting each other, which would be really cool to see on screen. But ultimately, Judgment Day involves a celestial progenitor coming to judge the people of Earth, much like Arishem said that he was going to come back and do. He said that he will spare the people of the Earth, but the memories of the Celestials will determine if they are worthy to live, and he will return for judgment. This is pretty much what Progenitor says in the Judgment Day event. He says, "People of Earth, listen. You are bickering children. This planet is ruined. You have acted with unrelenting unkindness to one another. You leave me no option. This is your judgment day. You have 24 hours to justify yourselves. You will be judged individually. You will be judged as a collective. If there is more that is just than wicked, you will live. but if you are found lacking, there will be no tomorrow. And that Judgement is reportedly still coming from Arishem in the next phase of the MCU. We'll talk about how it happens in just a bit. But first, I just really want to say thank you to those of you who comment and tell me that my videos help make your day and help you through some bad times. I know how it is. I know life can get really hard sometimes, but I'm glad this community is there for each other to help. And I really want to say that there is nothing wrong with seeking help. I've had some really bad times in my life. I've had parents die, friends die. I've been homeless and couch surfing before. And now I have so much to be grateful for, but there's still a lot of pain there. And I put off going to therapy for such a long time, but I really wish that I hadn't, because I can genuinely say that seeing a therapist has helped ease some of the pain and made life a little lighter. And if you are someone who might want to ask for help, BetterHelp, our sponsor of this video, is on a mission to make starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost if your match isn't the right fit. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cosmicwonder and get 10% off your first month of therapy. So you can see how this would fit really well with how the Eternals left off. Now, a lot of people have been questioning if the Eternals were ever going to return, and according to something revealed by Kumail Nanjiani, the actor who plays Kingo, Marvel had insanely huge plans for the Eternals, but since it basically bombed, they scrapped them all, at least for the moment. But Kumail Nanjiani revealed that he signed on for 6 different movies, a theme park, and a video game. I reacted to it on my other channel, which you should totally check out if you want to, but listen to what he said.
And it came out and it got really bad reviews and it didn't do that well. And it like shattered me too much. And that's when I was like, oh, I need to like go to therapy to figure this out.
No kidding. What was it?
It was if people, I mean, it's a movie called Eternals.
Okay, yes.
A big Marvel movie.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be my job for the next 10 years.
Right.
You sign on. I signed on for 6 movies. I signed on for a video game. I signed on for a theme park ride. They make you sign up for all this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you're like, oh, this is the next 10 years of my life. So I'll be doing, Marvel movies every year. And then in between, I'll do like my own little things, whatever I want to do. And then none of that happened. But for me, what really hit me was just realizing too much of my self-esteem is tied up in other people's reaction to my work.
Yeah.
I gotta figure. It was so. First of all, people have way bigger problems than this. Much bigger.
Not everyone's in Eternals.
Not everyone's in Eternals. Honestly, too many people are though.
There were a few too many people.
There were a few too many people in Eternals.
So Marvel had massive plans for the Eternals, but since it all bombed, nothing ever really happened. However, those actors still have their contracts, at least so we believe. And the Eternals did get quite a bit of hate, but I've seen more people come around to liking that movie more recently. It was quite different, it was a little slow, but I think Marvel realizes that if they scale back on how many Eternals there are, because let's face it, that was a giant cast, and Kumail Nanjiani even said there were too many people. So if you scale back a little bit and you have the Eternals appear with other characters in the MCU, like the X-Men, like the Fantastic Four, and you give them a little better writing, things start to get really exciting all of a sudden, especially if you involve their story with the Celestials, which I do really think they need to do. And I really also wish that we saw Galactus like Arishem in the Fantastic Four First Steps. He was awesome, but I think having a scene where he's just so giant, much bigger than the Earth would have been awesome. Then he could have shrunk down and went on Earth physically. Maybe in the future. But I personally think that the Eternals hunting down the X-Men because they're mutants, because maybe in their eyes they're not a natural part of the world, and the Avengers kind of stepping in and getting involved in the fight as well, would be a pretty cool movie. And again, it would be a massive crossover film. Kumail Nanjiani said that he thought he was going to be doing Marvel films for the next 10 years, and that still might be the case. In fact, according to this report, it is, and it does make sense to bring the Eternals back. Not because their movie was a masterpiece or anything like that, but because the characters can have a really good place in the MCU. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Would you like to see the Eternals and the Celestials return to the MCU? Let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.